force of your bond. A power like life itself, unseen for generations. A dyad in the force.
How's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of DYAD in the Force, episode 263. The one about just stuff.
Yeah, that music was funky. You turn off the funk? Man. It's all good.
I mean,
it's all good.
We gotta match the energy now because we're gonna bring things down. We're gonna bring things closer to intimate.
We're gonna break things down.
How's it going, Choco?
I am doing good. I had well, I didn't work today, so that's good.
Oh, what did you do? Crimson?
I did quite a bit of Crimson. Oh man. But also, I mean, I guess technically I kind of did work. I did, but it was mostly organizational stuff.
One never stops working.
You know, when sales is a portion of your job, it is something that is just going to always kind of like be rolling around in your mind, and you know, you're always going to be sharpening that saw, so to speak.
How's it going, guys? Shout out to everyone in the chat. Master James Kenobi says in response to the poll, I have seen chuds take many forms, but there's more of us. Shout out to Spooky Kitty. Hi, friends. Good morning, all. Happy Easter, says Eaton Black. Phidias says, good evening, all. Things are getting better, I think, but there will always be chuds waiting to spout nonsense. I almost read that as sprout.
No, it's true. Here's the thing that I talk about it. I feel like not everyone is super aware of it. Is that the rise of chuddery was not natural. There's always been more of us. It was quite literally a concerted effort to raise that stuff, to popularize that stuff. Like, that was a direct thing that people did intentionally.
Yeah,
it's not an accident. And so now that people are seeing the other side of it, it's just gonna die.
Spooky says, as long as there's a Republican Party, there will be chuds pretending to be outraged over inconsequential nonsense. Now, I hate to get political, but that is accurate. Because, and it's not even like the identity of, I suppose, that political side to be chuddy, but like the way of governance usually comes down to a distraction. They want to do something, so they're going to make you angry at something else. And so it all depends on the influencers that kind of carry that banner, and they always seem to make it about your child that's going to turn trans because there's trans discussion happening, and like, being surrounded by gay people is going to make you gay. And so, like,
which is utterly idiotic. But I do want to push back against this, though. One small thing, and it's mostly that we have is that there's been a change. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Pep and I are old enough that we remember Republicans as being something entirely different than they are now.
Absolutely, the great shift, as it were.
And I mean, I will outright say, like, Donald Trump isn't a Republican, like, at all. Like, there's no belief in having small government. There's not a belief in states' rights to do things or individual rights. Like he's literally taking ownership in companies like IBM and stuff. Like he's like it doesn't he doesn't match up with anything that the party traditionally believes in. So we're in this weird nebulous place where people have been co-opting things to push a far right agenda that is honestly based on Nazism. I don't even know how else to say it, but it's based off of Nazi conspiracy theories of Great Replacement and of eugenics.
Fascism.
Yeah, that too.
I know the second topic says media literacy, but we literally have no topics. So, like, if you guys want to talk about something, you're free to talk about it.
Actually, while we're on the subject, so I've been watching season 2 of Fallout because I wasn't watching it until it was all going to come out, and then I got sidetracked. And I'm not finished with it, but all it's doing is making me angry.
Do tell.
The world was ended because they started a war by preemptively dropping bombs because they thought someone else is going to bomb them. And so it just felt very like if this hadn't come out before Iran, it would, I don't know. They're like, oh, we did it because we thought they were gonna do it, and if someone else did it, then it was defense, but we did it first because we didn't want them to do it first. And you're like, that's stupid. I can't even help you. But yeah, that's all I can think about.
That's typically how it goes. You know, like I said, the governance of distraction. When Midnight Hammer happened, they said that they obliterated their nuclear stuff, and then now they're talking about it again.
You would
they
get
rebuilt
fired.
it.
You would get fired if you suggested that it wasn't completely destroyed. God.
Shout out to Darth Angel.
Life?
Happy Easter
Sorry,
to everyone who celebrates.
Yeah. Easter's Sunday, right?
Yeah. Strange says, y'all are so serious. I mean, what do you want us to be?
I don't think of myself. I don't think of myself as a serious person, but like I can't not be aware of like there's stupid stuff happening in front of me all the time, and I can't like not see it, you know? I can't not be aware of it. You can't, there's no depth under sand I can place my head that I would be unaware of what's happening, you know?
Yeah. Phineas says they've been 2 weeks from a nuke for 40 years. I mean, it's the first thing I said when they were like, they were threatening nuclear warfare, and I was like, what was Midnight Hammer for? You know, but it's always like this when we went to war in Afghanistan and Iraq. It was about weapons of mass destruction, and it was really about oil. It's always about oil. Honestly, that's the only way a certain side of the political spectrum knows how to combat gas prices and energy scarcity or the threat of.
You know what though? I'm gonna be on the positive side and say this is actually the best case scenario. Because imagine if we had like a fascist that was intelligent. You know what I mean? Like things would be so much worse. And I think the entire world would be worse off for it. But since it's been done so slapdashly and haphazardly,
slapdashly, haberdashery,
that everyone like on the globe is like, God, this is dumb, and it's going to force us a pendulum to swing in the exact opposite direction. At least that's what my hope is. Like imagine, trying to get rid of everything that forces people and companies and things to head towards renewable energy, and then causing an oil crisis, right?
Yep.
All that's going to happen is the need for electric vehicles and stuff like that is going to increase, and we're going to develop that faster. You know what I mean? So there's this not the same level of reliance. Like I feel like everything is being done so stupidly that we're going to bounce to the opposite side of the spectrum and be like, oh.
I mean, that's another side of like the quote unquote culture war that like I will never understand. Like, people were up in arms about the horse and buggy. And then they were up in arms about the first car. It's like, why would we pay for gas? We have horses. And then like the same amount of resistance and innovation with electric vehicles. It's like, yeah, I get it. You have range anxiety. There's definitely things that need to improve, but the answer isn't to not invest in that innovation and stay securely inside fossil fuels.
You know what? I mean, you remind me of God, who did that? I want to say it was Polaroid. They invented digital cameras. They were the first people to do it, and then they're like, yeah, but we sell a lot of film, so let's just not do anything with this. And so they didn't. And then everyone else developed it and left them in the dust.
Yeah.
That's the thing that happened.
How's it going, Stumacher? The biggest chud in my personal life right now is AI. Fucking hate AI. Yeah, listen, it's the big boogeyman right now. And I wanna preface it by not preface it. I want to clarify that it's Gen AI, because I love AI when it comes to helping me edit and helping me do tasks that I can't do. But in terms of like generating like videos and stuff, and like there's a Star Wars channel that's been doing their version of Heir to the Empire using AI. And like people are like, "Oh, this is fantastic." Shut up. This is not fantastic.
Yeah, I had someone try to come down. I was like, oh, you don't like fanfics and stuff. And I was like, what? No, I love fanfic. I write fanfic. AI art is not art. Bottom line, it is not art. It is an art plagiarism machine. If you liked a band so much that you were like, you know what? I really love this. I really love this band. I love these songs, but I don't like what you sing about. So I'm going to make my fake AI version of your band, and it's only going to sing about things I want to sing, but it's going to be trained off of your music. Like, it's so disrespectful and like hateful towards that artist to try to create a robot version of them to rob them with it. I don't know. It's just a weird concept of, if you love something, to bastardize it like that,
Is that the channel, Cupcos? I think that's the channel that's doing this whole like Heir to the Empire post Return of the Jedi like version where like Ahsoka is helping Luke like build, and like my biggest issue with that is not the fan fiction portion of it. The biggest issue is that he's got zero permission and likeness rights for Rosario Dawson, for Cameron Monaghan, for Mark Hamill, for every single person that he is using in his projects. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll be the first person to be like, go ahead, tell your story. That's great. I will say, having watched one of those videos, the writing is infantile at best, because like he in one of his episodes, he imagines Cal joining Luke's Praxium, and like he's like, I'm hoping you can teach me a lot. And I'm like, Cal has like years of training on Luke. Luke is not training Cal. Cal is training Luke. And so like, there's those obvious gripes, but like I really don't like generating actors and stealing their performances and their voices without any permission structure.
Yeah, and then you react to it on your channel, therefore you can get paid for stealing the work of other people's stolen work. It's really bizarre. I don't know. Things are, but the other thing is,
well, really quickly, the additional issue I have with it is that, like the people that are chuddy about Disney, commenting on those videos like, this is awesome, this is so much better than what Disney's doing, is like, bro, stealing all of the actors, all of like the work done by other people, including like, costuming and stuff like that. All he's doing is generating, agree about augmentative AI. It's revolutionary. They're using a lot for Star Wars restoration. Yeah, in the sense that like studios are using like voice synthesizers to make Mark Hamill's performance sound like a young Luke, or the AI on my Affinity that helps me cut out people from backgrounds, magic mask and like tools and stuff. Generative AI is where like the most ethical questions are raised.
The other thing is, I mean, you'll notice that, I mean, a lot of the really heavy AI groups or people, they tend to be right-wing people, and it's because those people they're just not capable of art. Like their fundamental existence is anti-art, and that's why you'll see, I mean, art is always, like, historically, if you just go where the art is, then that's usually the right side of anything. You know what I mean? And then the side that is suppressing it or removing the people's voice from art itself, those are always the bad guys.
I guess we could make this a segment about AI called Doobie. Real Alf on TikTok says it's Star Wars Chronicles. Oh, that's the channel I was talking about. You know what? I have a great idea. Why don't we have Choco react in real time to one of these episodes? Listen, I suffer, you suffer. It's a dyad thing. Do you not agree?
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I've got a bad feeling. Is that a Taking Back?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I guess, I suppose.
Until the long drive home, slept safe and close to the window.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna go to playlist, see if he has Heir to the Empire. Let's do Heir to the Empire.
So, and Vincent has you shouting at your TV. So I know the episode dropped. I haven't watched it yet. Oh yeah, I should do that.
Wait, no, hold on. Let's go to.
Here's the thing I don't get though. Is to me it's like, listen, if you're so unhappy with what Star Wars is doing, then write a story. Make your own IP. Make it whatever you want it to be. You know, you're starting from zero. But if your thoughts and ideas are so great, then you don't have to steal all of your concepts and characters and everything from other people. You know, tell your story. You know, be your own George Lucas and give it the message that you want it to be.
Let's see. Star Wars dropped 2 additional spots for Shadow Lord today. The second gives more info than the first. I'm at well, shout out to Tigo Neil and welcome to the show. I'm at the point now where, especially since it's coming out next week, that I'm
yeah, we're
into
too
it now.
close to it. Yeah, we're too close to worry about watching it before we watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Eric Debunks did a whole vid showing the state of those rage farming channels and proving they're starting to fail. Yeah, I did watch that video, and I also watched his stream earlier about, and we'll talk about it after this, like about the chuddery surrounding Millie Alcock and Supergirl. Was funny.
I don't even understand. I haven't seen any of the chuddery, but like, she looks great, and the movie looks great. She looks so badass on the cover. I don't even know what the complaint could be.
What's so funny is that they read her quote verbatim on the stream, and then like and she was talking about being objectified and stuff like that, and being a woman in Hollywood, and then afterwards they proceeded to do that. So it was like unironically. All right, let's watch this. Let's have Choco react to this in real time. Let me guys pause the music.
What do we got?
Let's full screen this. Oh.
I'm leaving Saw. Kata deserves a childhood. We'll try our best to raise her.
You should. There's a war coming.
Yes, just you know, react in real time, man.
Only my body. My spirit.
Okay.
Those are
This
evergreen, my friend.
That's not Saw. That's not Saw's like voice.
It's not his voice or his thoughts. That's not a human's cadence.
Think this.
They have dead eyes.
If you ever change your mind.
What?
It's been an honor.
Who is this man?
That's also not.
Jedi.
The guy who says, "Breathe it in, let it run wild." He's like, "My spirit are evergreen." Also, I don't know what he's proposing the timeline is here, but I think Saw might be dead already.
Right? And I was like, in their own chat.
Objection. I find them quite uncivilized. Factoid. There are many ways to unalive meatbags that choose to wield such
You could tell
weapons.
there's
Query.
a KOTOR
Would you like to hear some?
fanboy.
Just when I thought the day couldn't get any more fascinating.
Unfortunately, Cal, we don't have any more jobs for you at the moment. Looks like things are starting to settle finally.
I've seen the reports. There is.
By the way, the Chancellor is not handing jobs out to freelancers.
I'd have to if I was them.
I can assure you, Cal, we have everything under control. There is something that might interest you, however.
All right. I'm listening.
Someone you might know approached the Senate recently, asking for support with some infrastructural plans on Dantooine.
Okay. What's that have to do with me?
This individual is a Jedi. like you, Cal. I believe you
Isn't
know
that
him.
first scene
He
right
goes by
before
the name
Saw
of
would have
Luke
died on
Skywalker.
Jedha on Rogue One? Maybe, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know this
Are you sure?
person's
The one who took out the Death Star?
chronology.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Also,
all we
what
need,
he's
right?
It's your best chance to finally get the training she needs, Marin. I know she wants to do this.
Listen, guys, you know, if it doesn't work out, we can still find some folks who
And
need
how
help.
old is Kato supposed to
Are you
be?
sure about this?
It's like
Not that old.
You're a good teacher, Cal.
If the stories I've heard are true,
Cupco says, "Why are they hugging?" Exactly. When I was watching this, I was like, "This isn't
this
Marin
academy could be
either."
the best thing for her.
There's an identity
For us.
crisis with the writing of
You did
this
what you could, Cal.
and the portrayal of the characters.
and that's what I mean. That's they can't write. They don't know art. That's not how Marion talks. That's not how she behaves. Kato's napping like a little girl, but she's like a grown woman there. Also, they said that this was like one ABY. That's what it said right before the segment started, right?
Did it really?
I could have sworn it said one ABY. And I'm like, Luke is not a Jedi.
This is what you wanted.
Let's check that really quickly. One
Not at the
BBY.
beginning. Right when Mon Mothma starts talking.
Get any more fascinating.
Unfortunately, Cal, we don't have any more jobs for you at the moment.
Or maybe it's right when the
Looks like
robots are
things are
talking,
starting.
but there's a time jump there.
How magnificent.
I think it's just the one BBY.
I saw another timestamp. Anyways,
Either way, maybe it's after she's.
Any more jobs for you at the moment. Looks like things are starting to settle finally.
Stop showing weird smiling, Mon. Listen, this is what you guys sign up for when you want to see Choco react to something in real time.
and why does it make my skin itch?
I can assure you, Cal. we have
The scene with HK and
everything
Huyang said 5 ABY, I think.
There is something that might interest you.
So it's not
however.
even keeping the timeline
Right?
right.
Okay.
Let's hear.
Someone you might know approached the Senate.
So if it's 5 ABY,
asking for support.
at that point in time, Cal has been a Jedi for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And Luke has been one for 1 year.
Also, this obviously makes us kind of our skin crawl. Like Marin, even if you read the book, Battle Scars, like Marin is not an intimate person, like, or at least touchy like this. You know, Element is more like they
But
forgot to
that's-
put in a
that's-
second time card when they cut away from Saw. Maybe. Why is
That's
Cal
like,
so huge?
Yeah, no, but this is it's also part of the Shuddery because you have your main character and everyone else is just like a kind of a tool. Like no one else has any agency, so that's why Marin is going to behave like they imagine a woman should.
Yeah. Wait. 31 concurrent viewers. Holy cow, Batman. I go away for 3 weeks and y'all have blown up. Dang. What's going on, Illy? Welcome back.
Hey, Ellie, I saw you. Ellie posted something on the Discord, and I meant to go look at it, and then I didn't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the show right now, don't forget to give this stream a thumbs up. Cubco says they didn't want to put in the prompt saying maybe Cal and Marin are standing normally and not caressing each other. Listen, if there's one thing that's true about most fan fictions, especially from people who are not like career writers, is they put all of their favorite characters doing all of their favorite things. Like they don't. There's no boundaries and there's no holds barred as to what you will do. And so like let's assume this person is like a Cal and Marin shipper. they're always gonna be like affectionate towards each other in each scene. You know.
Yeah. But the other thing is like, I mean, these are also individuals that don't understand the passage of time. Like, if you are going to show us Marin and Cal a decade later, you have to ask yourself, if you're a writer with a brain who's worth your salt, you have to ask yourself, what have they gone through in between them? You know, you have to look at their personalities, how they behave around each other, what their goals and dreams are, their trajectories, and then project that out 10 years to arrive at something. And of course, you know, there's always variations and people can, you know, do things, but I don't know, it feels like that wasn't a thought at all.
Yeah. I don't need affection in every scene to ship a ship. Exactly. You know, sometimes all it takes is a gaze.
That's actually, I mean, being overly affectionate actually takes away from the ship. If you're a person who has actually been in long-term committed relationships, you know that there is.
It's a love
that's
language.
weird. That's weird. Like, that's not how you stand for like a regular conversation.
All right, let's get through this.
I know she wants to do this.
Listen,
Also,
guys,
Kata
you know,
would
if it
not. I
doesn't
mean, she
work
was a
out,
little girl
we can still
at the
find
end of
some folks
Survivor.
who need help.
Are you sure about
They just like. I feel like the
They're
writer was
pretending
like,
like she's still a little girl.
yeah.
You're a good
I feel like the writer just wanted to age up Kata. It's like, I just want her to be something.
And this academy could be the best thing for her. For us.
Cupco says, why is Kata now Stephanie Beatrice?
Just could.
None of these actors gave consent. Yeah, that's exactly the point. That's like, this is why this is the hugest, the biggest objection I have to this channel and what they're doing.
You know what though? Okay, this kind of makes me feel though like the person who made this is actually just like a really lonely person who wants someone to be proud of him and hug him. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I don't want to make any like personal
I do. He
assumptions.
sucks.
I will call into question their merit as a writer and storyteller, because like this is all very like dreams, wishes, and desires. Ahsoka wouldn't be there.
Sorry, kid. This is all we had. I mean, you know, it's not the best. Could have ironed it a little bit more, but that's all we have left from Tanalor.
I think he looks good.
Well, her accent was back-ish.
Cal, I know you want this. But we can't force anything on her.
I know.
Like, she's still holding on. She's still clutching.
I promise.
Or why don't you let her talk?
This girl looks at least mid-20s.
Go get him, girl.
Kyber eyeball bleeding. Does this creator not get how weird AF it is having a combination of live action scenes and game scenes? I don't know.
Greetings. My name is Luke Skywalker. This is Ahsoka Tano.
I'm Cal Kestis. This is Marin, my wife, and Kata, our daughter.
Cal, nice to see you again.
Also, her name wasn't pronounced Kata ever.
Oh, yes. I hope it's not a problem.
And it's Ahsoka Tano, not Tano.
Please do not worry.
These are things that, of course, the AI is just gonna bungle.
Making some changes, huh?
Cal Kestis. When we've lost...
Dang, look how small Hu Yang is compared to Luke.
You're still in one piece?
Indeed. 25,000 years and counting. It is good.
That's not how old Hu Yang is.
Can I go see the X-Wings?
Can I go see the horsies?
Hey, I'm Kata.
Wedge Antilles. Nice to meet you.
Jeez.
2 Death Stars? Awesome.
Ah, thank you. The first one belongs to that very nice man you've just met, though.
You think you could show me how to fly one of these?
You want to be a pilot?
That's just straight up music from
been a dream of
Squadrons too.
mine.
Like
Ever
this
since
whole
I was
video
very
is stolen.
Sure. I'll talk to Luke. See what we can do about you. He's also an amazing pilot, by the way.
No, seriously, where did the temple go?
Cool. Thanks.
Yes, a Night Sister of Dathomir. Also has a place in our school.
No.
No! What are you building? I thought this was a Jedi Academy.
I understand Cal had his own share of struggle with the dark side.
Yes. But we've overcome them.
Everything
Together.
she says is taken
does that tell
from
you?
like one part of the game,
Okay.
and everything is
I
sounding
see
like
your
that one
point.
part.
And I'm not saying I don't agree.
Besides, I'd like to learn more about this Dathomir magic.
You sure? They say our sorcery shares.
They've
many
already have said that
similarities with
Greek
Sith
of all
philosophy.
trades.
I know.
Wait. Okay, Lord Goob and yeah, Lord Goob's. How does he know that? Know what?
That Cal had a struggle with the dark side. Like, how does he know all about Cal? And
Together.
Well, again, it's
what
the
does that
writing
tell
of
you?
someone who idolizes
Okay. I
this
see your
Luke
point.
Skywalker.
And I'm not saying I don't agree.
Besides, I'd like to learn more about this Dathomir magic.
You sure?
It's not Dathomir magic; it's Night Sister magic.
They say our sorcery shares many similarities with
But
Sith
that could
philosophy.
be, you know.
I know.
Wait.
and who says that?
They say our sorcery shares many similarities with Sith philosophy.
No,
I know.
not at all. Not at
So that's the other thing is they don't. Is these people are taking things from canon, but don't understand the canon source or haven't actually looked into it.
Their philosophy is at odds with each other. They're an isolationist culture. It's the reason the Jedi didn't hunt them down is because they didn't pose a threat. They weren't conquering worlds. They weren't expanding. There's nothing similar about their ideology with Sith philosophy at all. Anime dialogue.
Hey, Hu Yang.
Ah, Cal, come join us. We could use the company. This is rather boring.
What are you doing?
What's it look like I'm doing? I'm uploading 25,000 years worth of knowledge into this makeshift library, is what I'm doing.
Declaration. More meat bags.
Meat bags?
Recitation. Yes. Old Master thought the reference was rather humorous, so he programmed me to use this particular expression quite frequently.
Had a sense of humor, your master.
Regret. I wouldn't know.
His memory core is damaged beyond my ability to repair.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
I think.
Right, so Old Master programmed him to speak in a certain syntax, but his memory core is damaged. And programming lives in memory. This is just me being fickle right now. Plot doesn't plot, says Master
I'm
James
sure he would have
Kenobi.
killed everyone here already if it wasn't.
Concurrence. Oh yes, most certainly.
That is a fantastic Unetti tree, you know. I have no issues pointing out how AI sucks, too. This is the Dantooine Temple. From KOTOR.
This is where our great tree will stand.
Not much to look at now.
No. But someday, this will be a great school.
The way his lips are
And
like,
people from
right
all over the
school.
galaxy will come to learn from you.
You know, we tried this once, but the Empire was always one step ahead of us. I don't think Kata wants to be a Jedi.
No.
No.
She doesn't.
Wait, but the whole reason you're here is because she...
You know her father. Her real father.
What was his name?
Was a monster.
Bode?
Bode.
I think she just doesn't want to end up like him.
Has Cal's hair completely changed
She'll
from
make
the
a great
opening?
pilot.
Yes.
Wedge can teach her everything she has to know.
I'll miss her.
So the Academy is like training
I miss
pilots,
my
too.
Sister.
What
We
is
talk to each other sometimes.
the plot?
Through the Force. I can teach you.
I'd love that.
What are you teaching Cal? Let's go.
No, what is the plot? Is there were...
We talk to each other sometimes. Through the Force. I can teach you.
So, you have someone who has psychometry, has spoken to people through the Force, telepathically before, and Luke is going to teach him this.
Okay, now...
I also do want to... Yeah, I mean, I recognize your question. What is the plot?
This whole thing was he was going to Luke's school for her, for Kata, to learn how to be a Jedi. Like, the whole story is about Kata without allowing Kata to have any agency.
Exactly.
or dialogue in the story, and they don't acknowledge that. And so is this like Jedi training and X-Wing pilot school? That seems super weird.
Archive says, doesn't seem to be a plot. It's like you said earlier, they just made their favorite characters do their favorite things. Exactly. And this is what this project is most likely going to shape out to be. It's going to be filled with glupshitos that make absolutely no narrative sense.
When I played with action figures as a child, I still had a plot. Like, there was still a reason for it. I don't know, man.
But like just like with this whole thing, we're just gonna see all of the familiar characters just meet each other, and it's gonna be this small circle, you know. And we're not gonna see any characters that they don't like. Maybe Luke meant he's going to teach Cal how to communicate with Force ghosts. Why would he be teaching him how to communicate with Force ghosts? He's talking about speaking to his sister, who is still alive at this point. Why does Luke know everything? Listen, after Return of the Jedi, he became a Jedi Master in the eyes of some fans, and like he knew everything at that point. If this story was an original human-written fanfic, it'd be commendable and fun, but in this way, it's so soulless and irredeemable.
No, but here's the thing, and I'm not coming out on fan. It's like some fanfic is fantastic, you know, it's like really good stuff. It's just that, again, and I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's rooted in just right wingers in general. It's the inability to tell stories or to create art.
Yeah.
So like because I mean, you'll hear the people who are like, oh, this thing is getting too political, or that is, or whatever. When people are making stories, they have a core. There's a reason they want to tell a story. There's a message that there's something that they're trying to express, and the story is a vehicle to do it, and that layers upon itself. And if your whole goal is like, no, I want it to be cool and badass, there's not going to be anything of substance there, which you can do movies like that. But there's just not going to be any depth. So you if you're going to do that, it better be action, because there's nothing else.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
I'd love for you to teach me how to telepathy. There's also an Uneti tree inside. This is the Dantooine Temple. This is where the council members were.
I half wanted him to be like, I don't know what this is. My memory is damaged.
There's a Uneti tree out here too. See? Favorite characters doing favorite things. Like, there's absolutely zero reason for this.
Dead at first.
There's no reason for that scene.
Shirtless, half-naked guy. And then they buried him into the ground, which sounds gross, but whatever.
I think you've had a little too much to drink, Grease.
Maybe you had too little.
Oh, that's just the Dantooine bar outside of his Jedi school. Cool.
A squad of stormtroopers in a small village, maybe about 300 clicks from here.
I love how she's speaking in sections.
No, but I'm not going to wait for that to happen.
A squad of stormtroopers has come in to send, like almost like a Kirk-esque. Let's watch that again.
I bring troubling news. A squad of stormtroopers in a small village.
Of stormtroopers in a small village.
300 clicks from here?
They hurt anyone?
No, but I'm not going to wait for that to happen. I'll take HK with me. In and out, quick.
Okay. But be careful.
You know me.
No, you don't.
Does he? Does he know her by name?
She's a great
Jedi.
How many can you take out at once if I draw them out in the
open? He's familiar with Clone Wars Jedi tactics?
10 hostile meat bags within approximately 2 seconds. The weapon system I carry requires a 15-second cooling interval before repeating such delightful efficiency.
That's impressive.
That's
There's
impressive.
A lot of open space. I can hold them off for a while, just don't miss.
Excitement. Oh, Master. The thought of eliminating these inferior life forms.
Can't even write HK right.
My targeting sensors are eagerly awaiting this encounter.
You're a strange droid.
Also, the thought that Ahsoka would be like, I'm just gonna distract them while you snipe them from afar.
No, Ahsoka's going in there and clearing house.
Like, I don't even know. Are those the stormtroopers?
One of the better ones for sure.
Analysis. Enemy formation identified. 224th Imperial Armored Division.
I guess those are the... Why are they...
Did you hear that?
The Kylo Ren division? But thicker?
The AI couldn't recreate the stormtrooper helmet. They look like World War II recreations of stormtroopers.
Kill the Jedi.
Where the hell did he come from?
Who are you? Oh, he's shooting some thick ass shots.
She's not waiting for this.
Amusement. Not bad for a meatbag Jedi.
Amusement? What?
Aren't you supposed to be shooting people?
Targets in range. Begin calculation.
I love how lightsabers emit 0 light now.
Complete. Statement. 20 down. 1 to go.
I need a name, Lieutenant.
Exclamation. Die.
What happened? What? Is that supposed to be Shin, honey?
I have no idea.
So, coming, Mara?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We're leaving. Least I could do to return the favor. What do you say? All right.
Why is Mara like 13?
All right. Well, she didn't answer.
Okay, why is she dressed like Shin, honey?
Probably used her as a reference for the Gen AI. Yeah, I mean, listen.
Oh my god, that was okay. I feel like they hate storytelling.
Yeah, that woman was called Mara by that man. I hate to torture you guys like that, but I feel like I had to share in my despair.
I feel relief. So that stuff, anything in the Uncanny Valley, makes my skin itch. It makes my skin crawl. And so that was physically uncomfortable. But what was the plot? What happened to the... This is just someone who's just like, and then this happened. And you know what this feels like? It feels like not only did they use AI for this, but it feels like it was written by AI, but like each section was also written by AI, as well as the brainstorming that started the project was also written by AI.
Yeah.
You mean it feels like someone asked AI, okay, who are popular Star Wars characters? Okay, now I want you to write me a story like, oh my god.
This dude about to put Disney out of business.
Yeah.
For real, dude. For real. Let's see if there's any pushback. If Disney is smart, they'll just ask for a cut any money he makes. Bro, this video has less than 500,000 views. That's like coins in the couch cushion for Disney. Haven't seen the mall show trailers, nor do I care. There's Mara and Talon cliffhanger though. Cannot wait. Like, listen, are you guys following the plot? This plot writing is 100 times better than the Disney sequels. Please keep making these forever.
Expand that, please.
This cooks anything Disney has done.
Oh
Using language
God.
like unalive in the first 2 minutes. No, that's way worse than somehow Palpatine. There's some reasonable people in there. I wish you and others would stop saying that all of this is based on canon from Disney. You don't have to hate in order to love. Okay, we got a reasonable reply from the creator here. But I would. All right, guys. Now, of course, we approach this in good faith, right?
At Elijah Adams super chat at 6.62 Ramons, spitting on the work of tens of one thousands of real people, including fellow fans who made real fan films that George loves. Utterly infuriating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Thank
is
you,
there
Ellie.
are like great fan films. I don't know, man. This just ain't it.
I really need someone to reply to this comment and ask, what is the plot? So, I mean, like, if we're being charitable, something to do with Kata and her training, and then there's stormtroopers.
So this is honestly why I slowed down on making videos, because I struggle to be nice anymore. Like if you say this has a better plot than anything, you are not a smart person. Like, I don't know how to make that, and I feel bad like calling people dumb, but like there literally is no plot in this. You can't think it's a better plot.
I don't think you have to call people dumb. I really do. Like, I think this person just doesn't have any writing chops. Like,
No.
He's doing the fan fiction thing.
I'm not talking about the creator of this. I'm talking about if you watch this and you're like, this plot is amazing, then I think you're a dumb person.
Oh, yeah. They might have mistaken plot for images. Images are amazing. But listen, as I put on some Studio Ghibli music.
And that's the thing with that. There's no substance. Like it's volume over substance. It's how loud is something, how memeable is something, how much attention does this get over the actual substance it carries, and that's how they turn validity, right? That's why I don't know. I mean, that was the first thing that we saw that kind of began a lot of this stuff is like it's the equivalent of when Twitter got rid of the check marks originally, because they didn't want people to have more weight with what they say, despite them being experts, meaning that the substance of their comments is more valuable. And now it's been replaced with a checkmark system that's more about volume, and that's where we've lost the plot.
E.J. says this is the worst version of Gentleman Broncos. Listen, I have eternally more respect for anyone who films a fan film, writes it, gets their own cast, gets someone to play Luke Skywalker, and gets someone to play everyone else. Right. This is just taking the shortcut.
I mean, I feel like this is done by someone who hates art. I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to say they hate art. It's just they don't understand art.
They like the idea of art, but they don't have the discipline to approach it.
It reminds me of Shadowversity's take on AI.
I feel like honesty is part and parcel to art, and I think this lacks it entirely.
I watched a Ray fan film recently. It was a little rough around the edges, but 1,000 times better than what we just watched. Well, a lot of the fan films that they're writing, they're trying to tell something, to tell a story, right? And this person is just putting in all of like fan nuggets. Your favorite characters: Cal and Marin kissing, Wedge Antilles for some reason. Luke and Cal talking about the Force. You know, there was no consequence to this episode of whatever that was. Just some promises of, you know, exchanging knowledge and training in the future for Cal and Luke. I'm ashamed to come from the same country as Shadowversity.
You know, though, I will say I do wish we could go back to the days, because George Lucas would have, you know, fan film, like, you know, tournaments, and people would write stuff and you know, that would pay homage to Star Wars and its messaging and would tell interesting stories. It feels like we don't see much of that anymore, or we're not seeing any of that with I mean, this is what I call chat art.
Also, I mean, we're also taking calls, guys. If you guys want to call in and share your takes, I'll share the link in the chat if you guys want to call in.
Yeah. Oh, Harris said, I remember the High Ground episode where we went in and discussed good fan films. Yeah, and I had people submit a bunch of them, because I really hadn't watched much by then. And that also led me to a very interesting interview that I had that was uncomfortable for me. Yeah.
Did I miss the AI slap? You did. It was torturous.
There was one person who I interviewed who made a really popular fan film, and while I was interviewing him,
that's right.
He was like, yeah, just so you know, I had some trouble with the law for, you know, having a relationship with a minor. I hope that doesn't like bother you. Mid-interview, I was in the middle of the interview, and I was like, okay, I don't want to be rude, but while talking to him, I like looked up what happened, and I was like, ugh.
Someone screenshot that face. Someone clipped that face.
It was yeah. And the only reason
y'all did already.
The reason he got caught was because he dumped her when she turned 18.
Jesus.
That
was
wild.
Kind of.
Their relationship was several years long, and then when she turned 18, he dumped her. And then she was like, "Okay, bet." And then needless to say, I did not post that interview.
At least says, wait, calls like with a phone? No. You can click on the link, and you can call in. I call it call in, but like you can join our call, and give your 2 cents. We actually have a caller right now. Craig McGoon wants to join us, so let's see what they have.
It's McGuinn. It's McGuinn.
Craig McGuinn. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I pronounce Choco, you probably
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
probably an issue.
But what's up?
Yeah, I mean, just when by the way, Choco, when you told me to said that you wanted to ask me what it was, I already left a reply in the interim. You asked for someone to leave a reply. What was I did that for you?
Oh, so I think your microphone is doing like noise gating or something like that. Your microphone is doing like noise gating.
That's why.
I mean, again, you didn't.
So do you have like headphones or something?
Oh, you didn't. Oh, yeah. This is. I think we see of the earbuds. I don't know if that would work, but you didn't say like specifically.
Yeah, no, I mean we don't know until we try it, and then but yeah, your microphone is trying to
I think I know what the issue is. Hold on 1 second. Does that fix it?
I don't know. Does it? Is your the main issue is that you have our audio coming in through speakers, and that's why it's trying to cancel it out.
Yeah. I think I just did. I fix that just now. Like I think I forgot when I switched over to mute my viewing part, so I did that just now. It was in the background. I fixed that. Should be. No, what? Is it still there?
I think you're good now.
It was like, I think I muted the viewing link. I forgot to do that initially. That's what I think that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just when I thought like, I mean, I didn't have like high expectations for what we were gonna see, but like, it's like just when I thought the floor of what to expect was the worst it could be. Yeah, I'm in for a ride. It's just insane. It's like I said, it's like at best a rough draft of like an incomplete idea. It's like you forgot the second and third parts to this, and just we're going on a whim. It reminds me of and this is gonna date, but for anyone who's ever like when we used to watch Jimmy Neutron, is for those of us who were fans as kids, it reminds me of like that guy Finbar Calamitous, that villain from it, like who he would always have incomplete ideas. It like reminds me of like for those of us who've seen that show, it kind of reminds me of this creator in a way, except like except it wasn't trying to be.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like if they were using the same philosophy to make a pizza, it would just be a pile of like meat parts without any structure or any cheese or bread. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, pile of meat parts. Yeah, I mean, that's more like meat gut intestines, like the parts of the meat you wouldn't put in food. Just saying, it's like, you know, like the stuff the parts of animals you're not supposed to put in meat products. That's what it was.
I think it just comes down to the fact that I don't think this person at all has any real merit in writing and storytelling, and rather, I mean, this could just be my assessment of them as someone who's a narrative designer. I don't want to make assumptions about their professional acumen, but it seems to be coming off that way. Like I said earlier, that they were just bringing in all of the fan favorites. You know how when we talk about Glupshidos and like Easter eggs and like it always has to make narrative sense, and it has to make chronological sense, and the whole episode. And by the way, was just.
I'm sorry, Elman. I just want to interject real fast because I think there's a point where Choco hit on how it's like a lot of dumb people, like, you know, it tends to be that. But I've noticed, like, I've said oftentimes, like, I'm smart enough to know how dumb I really am. Meaning, like, even though I don't consider myself the most intelligent person in the room, but I notice how like I see the difference between being the smartest people out there and real much gap there is. But I'm smart enough to know, like, when someone's full of BS. It's like how, and I've also noticed that dumb people tend to like often overestimate their intelligence by a lot, and they really have no idea just how dumb they really are. It's like for us, those of us saying like, oh yeah, these are dumb people. Yeah, like keep in mind, dumb people tend to overestimate their intelligence a lot of the time. They think they're way smarter than they really are, and they have no clue just how dumb they really are. So you have to keep that in the back of your mind when things like really don't add up at all. It's like, yeah, that's where that comes from.
Well, I like how April Newell put it in the chat. You know, that they said, I think this is just an example of that making Star Wars is not easy. And yeah, so I want to pull back against some of the things that I said about the creator, because who knows? Maybe this is their first story. Maybe they're 11 years old, you know, and they haven't read enough stories to know anything. That's entirely possible. Or you know, they're not old enough to process, you know, the passing of time to be like, oh yeah, there's you know, this happened 11 years before that, and so therefore there's some interplay there. But yeah, making Star Wars isn't easy, you know, and I feel like what we saw here, I feel like a lot of people would also now owe Dave Filoni an apology, because a lot of what people accuse Dave Filoni of is what this is, of just mashing in your favorite characters and not caring enough about the narrative or canon.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me as someone, like, my intro to Star Wars was prequel trilogy before the original trilogy, so I'm different than most people here in that regard. So, like, my twist, because I saw the prequels first, was when Palpatine said, "Anakin, henceforth you shall be known as Darth Vader." I've been learning about the backstory of the villain the whole people were telling me about the whole time. So it's like I'm used to this. It's like when people were hitting the prequels before it became, you know, beloved of the fan base. Like, I was fighting prequel hatred from day one because I saw the prequels first.
Same.
Like, it's like how this is why I know, like, I've told people before who, like, they're resistant to telling people intro with the prequels first, but silver lining is you get the perspective, like, you don't have spoilers you don't already know answers to questions posed throughout it, because if you see the originals first, you're going to know so many answers to the prequels already. It's going to be, you know, less to learn from.
Yeah.
It's like you wonder where this comes from. It's like there's people just like, if you know so much about what happens later, it's easier to get frustrated by earlier events.
If I were to make an educated guess, it just like with all fan fiction, it stems from a place of desire, you know, because when people talk about like their expectations for certain movies, and they talk about what they want, what their Luke Skywalker is. When they see The Last Jedi, they say, "Not my Luke Skywalker," and so like they have their preconceived notions of what they want Luke Skywalker to do and how Luke Skywalker should portray himself and what they want him to be occupied with.
Yeah, I actually, I know people say not my Luke, but I actually say not my Supreme Leader Snoke for The Last Jedi. Because, quite frankly, I would have had, so one of my biggest pet peeves is the fact they just use Snoke as a clone of Palpatine. Like, I would have had, like, if I were, the one flaw is that I would have had Snoke being the last Jedi, is that a Jedi fell to the dark side, never was trying to resurrect Palpatine. So in a sense, like,
that's interesting.
Right? So resurrecting Palpatine in that next level. This way, it's like, it's easier for people to see, okay, Anakin's bringing balance still means something, because it took a dark side, Last Jedi and Snoke to resurrect Palpatine, bring the Force back out of balance. In a way, it's like, and it's like I could have the confrontation in the throne room being like, Skywalker, Luke never told you the truth about the Last Jedi. Where he's like, he didn't need to. Palpatine had them all killed.
Another happy landing.
No, I'm the Last Jedi, and you are Palpatine's granddaughter. That, I think, it would have cut off a lot more loose ends more efficiently if you have, like, Snoke being a Jedi that fell to the dark side, like Gallius Rax they were suggesting at the time. And it would have been a lot easier for people to accept, you know, Palpatine returning, like, in a way that, you know, doesn't feel like, you know, like, Anakin's sacrifice still has its meaning. Even easier for people to understand that without the novelization explanations and everything.
Yeah, I mean, even I've still never understood that Anakin sacrificed himself to save his son.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what I mean by that, Choco, is that, like, Palpatine needed an external force to be brought back. So it's like, you know, it wasn't just, like, independently on his own. Like, he needed Snoke to resurrect him in a sense, through Exegol. So this way, it's like because if Palpatine's body's there with like no way being brought back, Snoke brings back Palpatine, and you could have even had like I would have had Kylo, let's say, instead of First Order, Hux being the spy for the against the First Order, but I would have gone for pirates. So like you have a pirate faction that like Snoke's part of, and like I'd have Kylo have to kill like Snoke there instead of on the throne ship.
Yeah. Okay.
Or you could have like the lightsaber cut, like where it's like the lower half robotic limbs, like Maul, but like for Snoke level. And like
KG does make a good point that this is all hindsight, but you should definitely like write this up and you know do a kind of like what if scenario with your with this story.
Yeah,
and put it out there.
Yeah,
I'd love to check it out.
And I know people say like for me the issue with the hyperspace room, it wasn't about like there being one in the first place. It was about the fact that it defeats the purpose of shields on starships, because like the moment Hux noticed on the intercept course, he told the fleet in the system to raise the shields. Like
No,
then he tells his bridge to raise.
No, he said fire on that ship.
Yeah, like wait, but they were supposed to like it defeats the purpose of shields. Like, I could understand maybe if like his ship or like the ship.
How does it defeat the purpose of shields?
Well, because like shields on starships, like they can raise the shields in time. Like he would. Like there have to have the notion that like the entire fleet was not able, none of the ships could raise their shields. Like if you're in close proximity to it, maybe like everyone.
Okay. So a couple things. So shields mostly dissipate like energy blasts, but they're not going to be the strongest things about kinetic things. Just like when we watch Empire Strikes Back, we see asteroids take down a Star Destroyer. The shields aren't going to fully.
But that doesn't take it down.
Against...
Hold on.
You have to at least let me finish.
Okay. Sorry.
But not only that, but your ship has X amount of power, and you get to decide what to do with that power. You can put all of it into shields, you can put it into weapons, you can put it into engines, and in the case of The Last Jedi, that was all placed into engines, right? Because they were doing everything they can to accelerate. To run at max acceleration, and so that's why all power was to engines. They weren't having their shields. They were actively told to ignore that ship, and by the time he said to fire on that ship, it was too late by that point in time.
Okay.
But
well,
so it definitely wouldn't negate it, because it's super hard to pull off. It's really easy to guard against, and it's a terrible waste of resources that you would absolutely lose the war if you thought that was valid.
I can see your point, but at the same time, the asteroids, like, I thought it was the Star Destroyers didn't go and follow them. The whole point of like the white hound flew a Falcon into the field was the Star Destroyers couldn't follow. Like the Star Destroyers were like surrounding the field, like so like no matter which way the Falcon escaped from the field, there would be at least one Star Destroyer in its flight path, so it couldn't just go.
The Star
Vader
Destroyers
ordered them into the asteroid field.
They ordered the TIE fighters and the bombers.
Vader ordered the ships, the Star Destroyer into it, and we see one get taken out by asteroids.
Yeah, the shields. The shields don't protect against kinetic damage. That's why when the engines fail.
Well, I thought the Star Destroyer bridges they collide into each other. They were both chasing this Falcon from opposite directions, and like he did a nosedive right before. That's what that was.
I'm gonna provide an example that just kind of negates this entire argument, because when the engines fail in the Star Destroyer during this Death Star battle, the Star Destroyer is then falling towards the Death Star. And
wait, but that's because the forward batters were taken out right before. Like the bridge deflector shields were taken by a wing right before that. So that's what enabled them to not be able to rely on the bridge shields.
Right, but
they were from behind too. So
the bridge deflector shields.
The
bridge deflector shields has nothing to do with the Star Destroyer crashing into the starfighter.
Well, no, it's the ship crashed into the bridge that caused that.
And then the Star Destroyer engines failed and started falling into the Death Star. And crashed into the Death Star, and that kinetic energy destroyed the Death Star. And we also see in multiple battles. That the Hammerhead Corvette can ram into these ships and do kinetic damage to them.
Okay, right. Yeah, I can see your point. I mean, although the Star Destroyer hitting the Death Star, like, that didn't... It only did, like, semi-damage. Like, the reactor was still functioning. They had to, like... The ships hadn't even gone back to the surface yet. I see your point,
the
though.
bottom line is that the shields wouldn't have protected against a hyperspace ram.
I can see your point, though. It's like... It just, like, it seems like sometimes too simple, you know what I mean, of a solution. I mean, not saying there, but to me the bigger issue is Snoke. Like why would he have him be a clone that, like, a Palpatine? Like, he should have been the Force. But the bigger issue to me is, like, he should have been like a Dark Jedi that brought Palpatine back, resurrected him. Like, it's an easier way to handle.
Snoke was an indication of Palpatine's capabilities. Snoke isn't a clone. Snoke is a strand cast. And Palpatine's body is also a strand cast, and it is a demonstration of the help that he had with the Sith Eternal and the Shadow Council. He had tremendous help in maintaining his strand cast bodies throughout the time from Anakin's sacrifice. And so Palpatine didn't do it all on his own. He had people go to Exegol, he had the Shadow Council, he had Sith Eternal, like those people walking around in his lab, and then the tanks of Snoke's, you know, those people were the ones doing the alchemy and all of the...
And it took all that stuff to keep him alive, right? Because he also wasn't just... It wasn't just like, hey, Palpatine is survived and he's just fine. He was a melting, decrepit shadow of his former self.
Well,
but yeah.
Well, I mean, you would think he would have to have some effect anyway. Like, the whole one... Oh, why else would he need the dyad in the first place?
Oh, well, so that he can have an effect, right? You know, Anakin brought
right, like I'm saying, like,
Force,
if he didn't have an effect, there was no point of the dyad. That would defeat the purpose.
Say that again?
I said, like, if Palpatine wasn't a shadow of his former self, that would defeat the purpose of the dyad being response.
No,
in a sense, like
the
response. He used the Force of Rey and Kylo to bring back his full form. Like, that would, he wouldn't have a need for the dyad without that.
The response to the rise of the dyad was in response to the perversion that Palpatine was enacting. Strandcasts of Snoke, strandcasts of himself, trying to transfer his essence. The Force recognizes all of that. The Force doesn't need to have a fully powered Palpatine to respond to, right? It's the same way. Here's the thing. It's the same way, and we do have limited time, so I'm just going to answer this question, and then
okay, right? Yes, I understand. I understand if you want to move to somebody else. Yes.
But like, think about the Jedi mystic who first prophesied the Chosen One. This was hundreds of years ago, so they're already gleaning that the Force wants to rebalance itself before Palpatine and Plagueis and all of that stuff happens. And so the Force just doesn't act like right then and there. It's just it takes a certain amount of time for the agents and the people who can hear its will to start acting. And so there's a Jedi mystic who prophesies the Chosen One that will bring balance to the Force, and they're like, you know, Dooku's reading about it and Qui-Gon's reading about it, and like, Anakin's not even born yet. So the Force is starting or enacting rebalancing measures in the midst of all of this happening. So it can already detect that Palpatine, the Sith Eternal, and the Shadow Council are starting to once again pervert the dark side. And so it starts to ramp up. And then, like, you have Rey, who was born during this time, and then not until she's 19 where she feels Kylo's presence in the Force, or she feels Kylo kill and fall to the dark side, and that's when their dyad bridged. But it's not necessarily like one event causes the Force to start to respond. It's just the ecosystem starts to crumble and starts to show the effects of the corruption, and then the ecosystem or the force is going to start putting in the measures to fight back. Right. But thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I understand if you want to like move on. I didn't meant to hog the time.
Yeah, well, we have another caller in the waiting room right now.
Yes, understood.
But we appreciate it, and maybe we can talk to you later or another day.
Yeah, I'll stay in the chat.
All right. See you later.
Yep.
All right. Next caller is leaning over. Is Cubcos.
I was also trying to get a timestamp on Empire Strikes Back. And in another portion, you know, the Star Destroyer is in the asteroid belt, and it's just shooting down asteroids that are coming at it because that's what they have to do. They're shooting it with their laser batteries.
Yeah, I mean, like, I also like bring in like the fact that when I was playing like Star Citizen, we'd have like shields, and then I in the process of trying to dock, my ship blows up. So there's nothing defending against kinetic energy or just straight up tomfoolery. But yeah, we do want to thank Craig McGuinn for calling in. I did see a message from Illy earlier on that was asking, when did you guys start taking calls? Like we have taken calls for a while now. It's just that nobody calls in, and so like when we have this episode where like we really don't have much to talk about as Shadow Lord approaches, we like to welcome people in, and so Cubcos is our next caller.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going all right. It's pissing down rain over here in Australia, which is always lovely, but at least it's not hot. So I've got that going for me.
Can you do me a favor and can you say, let's fire up the bloody jets?
Let's fire up the bloody jets.
Okay. No, I watch Drain Cleaning Australia.
Oh, yes.
That channel is eternally sunshine. Like he goes in and he sees like grease traps and like drains all clogged up, and he's like, "This is amazing." He's like the drain cleaning like Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know
I'm
what's
familiar.
next, guys? We're going to use the jets. Let's fire up the jets.
So it's kind of random. That's one of the most amazing things to me is how entertaining some channels have become by just doing work.
Yeah. Like we've got a lot of like lawn mowing videos over here. Like people that just mow the lawn, and it's just like, hell yeah, I'll watch this for 5 minutes. Hell yeah.
It's
great.
It's like it's cathartic to watch this work being done, and then you're like, I'm still sitting in squalor, but whatever.
So what's up, Cubcos?
So first, I will be reporting your channel for AI Slop after making us all watch that video.
Me too.
I will be sending you my therapist bill.
We will both be self-reporting.
That was awful. Like in the chat, Ryan did a video. It was really good on Tales Untold or whatever, that this channel that was adapting Disney Star Wars comics. He did a TikTok video last week, and I did a follow-up video on it. And it was a great video where he talked about how they're just taking Disney Star Wars elements and putting it into this AI generator, and it spits out this crap. And then all the comments, like what we saw, were like, oh, this is so much better than Disney Star Wars, when it is Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
It is Disney Star Wars. It's just been Frankensteined into a different medium. And it breaks my brain. I can't deal with it. Like, I was going to crash out while watching that video before. It was... oh my god.
Eaton Black says, I hated it. Please do it again. You know what? That's actually a really, really interesting idea to kind of... I want to almost... I don't want to do AI slop, but I almost want to, like, do a video, like, in the vein of, like, the lore videos that used to exist and be like... This is a story from Legends, and then like I talk about what happens in like Star Wars 2020, I want to see if people are like, man, Legends was so much better than canon, and like
see if they pick up on it.
Yeah, see if they pick up on it.
I think so. I think that'd be an interesting, bit of a litmus test type thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think there is so much great Star Wars stuff out there at the moment. Like I did a TikTok this morning where I was just having my cup of coffee and I was just like, it's so much fun to be a Star Wars fan right now. You know, we got Maul Shadow Lord coming, we got Mandalorian and Grogu around the corner, we got Galactic Racer and Zero Company coming later this year.
Yep.
We got a whole bunch of books coming this year. There's comics coming out. Like I'm having an absolute blast, and I just can't help but feel. I don't know if feeling sorry for the people that are like just hating it and like getting super into the AI slop. I don't know. I don't know if I feel sorry for them, but I'm just like, it's not all doom and gloom, guys. Like, there's some really good stuff coming out. Like, I don't know. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here.
No, I do feel sorry for people whose, because I mean, I honestly feel like the reason it spreads is because I really think a lot of these individuals are lonely, truly lonely, and even though it's negative and hateful, and a lot of people, you'll talk to them individually and they'll recognize like, oh yeah, this thing that, you know, Theory said is absolute crap and garbage and all this stuff, but I'm still over there on the channel because they enjoy the community aspect of it, right? Because they have nowhere else to go to, and I know I kind of feel like that's the crux of it.
I think so, because funnily enough, talking about community, when I started to be like, okay, I want to talk about Star Wars on the internet, I made a rule for myself, and that was to not follow anyone within the same niche, basically. So I wasn't going to interact with other Star Wars content creators because, from what I had seen, it was all negative. Like, it was all bad. It was like, oh, I hate this. Legends is better. George Lucas is coming back to Star Wars. You know, every other week it was all that. And funnily enough, it was actually you guys, Choco, Element, that made me be like, oh, there's actually some really cool Star Wars creators out there that are like really cool and fun. So you guys are actually the first two Star Wars content creators that I actually followed back. And I was just like, you know, I think I might share that with you all today. But yeah, no, and then like there's been so many people that like I've like met through both like this show in the chat and just other Star Wars content creators, and I'm just like, man, there is a really great community of Star Wars people out there that, you know, they don't just default to loving everything, but they just don't default to hating everything as well. It's just actual level-minded people, and it's great. Like Ryan, who you had on last week, I spoke with him late last year just before we went to Celebration, and he gave me a bunch of tips for Celebration because I'd never been to a Star Wars Celebration before, and Ryan got on a video call with me and was like, okay, here's some things you can do to make Celebration easier. So like, shout out to Ryan. Alex Lezio, who you've had on, I've done videos with him talking about Mandalorian and Grogu and stuff. He does lives all the time on TikTok. Love hanging out with Alex. And there's just so many people, like Archive Redacted. It's just cool. There's just such a great community, and yeah, I just want to shout everyone out, shout you guys out, and yeah.
And that was actually one of the things I used to try to do is like before Celebration, I would like have, but it was back when the high ground was still a thing. I'd have a big episode where I had a ton of guests. It would go on for hours, and I'd always have three and it would rotate. But it was because I wanted all these people to like talk to each other, so each person has spoken to 6 other people that'll be there, and in worst case scenario, you already kind of have a friend. You know what I mean? Like you're not starting from zero. And it's like, you know what? If we just mix up this whole pot, then I don't know, maybe some good stuff will happen.
That's cool.
That's
the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that was part of the reason why I even started to begin with, because like, yes, the pandemic was happening, and like I was looking for something to do, and for one reason or another, or one thing led to another, which is the laziest line, not somehow. They started showing me Star Wars haters on TikTok, and I was like, oh Jesus Christ. So like, I wanted to make my first ever video was like telling people to STFU about bringing George Lucas back. He's like, you guys bullied him out of the community, and now you guys want him back.
There's a reason he left.
Yeah, but like by virtue of me creating content, I had met so many more people who were like-minded, and that's like been the biggest thing for me in all of the years that we've been doing this, and especially when it culminates in what we have named DYAD Con, where like, you know, more than 50 people from 7 different countries all gathered to just hang out with each other. And I'm like, this is what true fandom looks like. You know, we don't need to all agree on something. Everyone has their different rankings and lists of favorite shows and movies from Star Wars, and again, we lead with a discussion. Our discourse is led by engaging in the contents rather than engaging with the quality of it, right? And so like this community is so awesome, everyone in chat as well, with being able to take a topic that we have put forth and to talk about it. Like doing a sequel trilogy Jeopardy. We're not saying these are the best movies ever, but hey, we're going to have fun with trivia about the sequel trilogy. And, you know, people are able to participate in that and have fun in that. Like, at no point did this community devolve into trashing the sequels because we chose to do a Jeopardy on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm also so glad I didn't get in on that sequel trilogy one, because I was super confident and I didn't get in time in the Discord to get in on that one. I would not have beaten Archive. Holy crap, he killed it.
He went on a streak, man.
You were doing well in the chat though. I seen it.
A little less pressure though when you're just in the chat, you know. Like you can sort of think it through a little bit. But man, I was super confident going into it, and Archive was just pulling these answers out, and I was just like, oh, I would have gotten cooked in this. I do really want to do the original trilogy one though, because I talk up myself being an original trilogy fan a lot, so I need to represent for that one.
Yeah, and hopefully we get some old heads. Maybe X-Core will come compete, because I haven't seen X-Core on a stream in a very long time.
X-Core, ND Wise Guy. We have some heavy hitters. Honestly, this entire community is pretty filled with heavy hitters. Well, that's one of the things that we've noticed also. Like, we started as like lore masters and lore keepers, and then Choco did this thing with the book club where he's like, I want to like talk to more people who've read the books, and then like by virtue of that, just after a couple of years, we see a lot of like book talkers coming out, like having read the comics and the books of Star Wars. So, like, it's just we are purveying, or we are perpetuating this notion of being fan like enjoyers.
By the way, Lucasfilm, if you're watching, I apologize. I did send books out to people, but those people have subsequently bought books. But yeah, when we started, I was like, you know what? I just want more people to read them, and I was like, it was just like sending PDFs and audio books out to people, like, hey, check this out, read this. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
By virtue of like the community building we've done and have witnessed from other creators as well, is that the comment section isn't as torturous as it was before, right? And I don't need to square up as much, right?
There was a thread on Reddit the other day. And someone just asked, like, why does everyone think the lightsaber fight in Rise of Skywalker on the Death Star, why does everyone think this is the worst one? And people in the comments were actually like, oh, this isn't the worst one. This is by far from the worst one. This one's actually kind of cool. Like, you don't really see that in comment sections anymore. You know, you see a fan film of 2 people swinging a lightsaber around, and the comments are all, oh, better than the choreography over at Disney and that.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in a long time that I'd seen people actually be like, no, I actually really like this fight. It's kind of cool, actually. It makes sense. I like the visuals of it. I like that the music's really toned down in the background. It's just them sort of going at it. And I was just like, oh, wow. Like, I feel like we are very, very slowly starting to see the renaissance for the sequel stuff start. Slowly, but surely, I think.
If all things being equal, I think it's already here, right? But because we live in an era of social media where chuds exist, like my poll right now, will we ever get over the fake culture wars? And it's 70% no, chuds will always exist.
Yeah, I voted no.
And so, like, my assessment of that of those numbers is, yeah, they're just always going to exist. So we're always going to have detractors. But I think what's evident from our live shows every week and from creators that we follow, the renaissance is here, right? And so if we come to terms with the fact that chuds will always exist, then we just live in a space now that people are enjoying the sequels or talking about the sequels or are able to engage with the Disney era without devolving into negative parlances and superlatives about how trashy it is, right? So let's just accept that chuds are gonna chud and we're just going to be fans, right?
Yeah.
And we're in that era.
Just to answer KG in the chat from a few minutes ago, I have 142 Black Series figures. I just did a YouTube video where I rearranged them all, and due to the space management, I have an extra shelf here, so I can buy more now. So
that's awesome.
But yeah, 142. If you want to check it out, I did a YouTube video very recently where I took everything down, dusted everything, cleaned everything, and then put them back up. It was very satisfying, and I also counted them all.
Nice.
That's impressive. Yeah, I want. Eventually, I'm going to do a whole collection. I've moved too much to collect anything, but I'm finally getting to the point where, like, I don't think that's going to keep happening. So I like to start. I have a few like prized possession though. My acolyte.
I'm at the point
Black
where
Series,
I don't want to move.
One thing. In terms of this conversation, topic, one thing I do like to point out is that, like, my initial like mission statement was that, like, you know, I wanted to reach a fan one at a time, right? And if I go back like 5 years, my comment section was like complete slop. And this video that I just released yesterday, the comments are like, there's a whole bunch that were like, you know what, like, you really have made me rethink the sequels. I need to rewatch them. So, you know, I take that as an absolute win when more than one person is like, you know what, that's actually a good point.
Yeah. I had someone make a comment to me, it was a while ago now, but they were just like, why do you do this? Like, your numbers are so low, like your subscribers are so low, your views are so low, your likes are so low and everything. And I'm just like, I'm cool with that though. Like, because like you just said, if I can convince one person, if one person out there thinks I'm worth listening to about something, hey, that's good enough for me. I don't mind. I'm doing this because I love talking about Star Wars. I did a video talking about Path of the Lightsaber manga book that came out late last year. Nearly no one talked about this. I just did a little video about this the other day, and someone said, I've never read any manga or Star Wars
we
stuff
haven't
like
talked
that.
about Star Wars for a couple of months.
Yeah. And they were like, I'm going to pick this book up. You sold it really well. I want to go pick up this book. And I'm just like, perfect. I've done my job then. Like, one person's going to go out and read this book now. That's enough for me. That's all the satisfaction I need. Like,
yeah, and also, I mean, we honestly just have to understand that in a world where algorithms are driven by engagement and nothing drives engagement like hatred, that unless we are intentionally jacking up the hatred, like, we're always going to suffer. But that's okay. I prefer listen, y'all can suffer over there, you know what I mean? Like, that's you.
I will say in response to that we have to also equally be easily mobilized, right? Because if hate content and rage bait is so can proliferate easily, I find that we have to be equally responsive, right? And so like this community right here is amazing, but we need to kind of fight back and like, you know, also create these kind of pill boxes, or like these not pill boxes, these gun batteries, as it were, where we can be mustered easily by positive content.
Mustard! I'm sorry. Let's see here.
Because of Obi-Wan.
X-Core says, collecting is hard when you move. I've lost entire game consoles. I had an uncle once sell my original Nintendo for drugs. And it was such a good, like, you didn't even have to hit it. Like, you could put your games in and then they would just work. And then it went missing. And then, yeah. Stupid Anthony.
Yes, that's what Eric Debunk does. It seems to really work. Yeah, and so like
he's a friend of the channel.
We like I try my best to show up for almost everyone's, like, you know, content when they go live, like the Pod Wants podcast, Eric Debunks, Organized Chaos, the actual fandom folks. I try my best, but like I do think that we share a lot of audience with them as well, and I think I've seen Spooky Kitty and Archive Redacted or Phidias in some of those channels as well. So
I also see KG over there too, you know.
So yeah, I mean, I think yeah, Shellcast. So I think as the fandom that engages authentically and not disingenuously, but like genuinely, we need to be equally mobile in that regard.
Also, everyone watching, you know, feel free to put it in the chat. If there's a channel that we should be watching that you think other people should know, put it in. You know, take a look, and you know, hopefully we can share. I actually noticed that, you know, my friends over at Pink Milk actually started doing some more podcasts as well.
We did have like a certain like not falling out. We did have a certain like sector of like podcasts just stop for whatever reason, and so we do need to kind of like backfill. So start making content, everyone.
There's a specific reason though. Like a lot of us, we came out of COVID making all this content, but as life continued, it just got harder and harder, you know.
Yeah. Okay, I think we can do this Zoom game.
Do you guys have another caller waiting? Do you want to shuffle someone else in?
We don't have another caller in, but you're welcome to, you know, join the chatters for this game if you'd like to step out.
Yeah, I'll let you guys go. I got some stuff to do anyway, so that's all good. Thank you for having me on, just briefly. Also, I just want to say, Choco, it was very funny. Karen, my fiance, said like, "Oh, when are you getting back on a stream with Element and Count Chocula?" And I just thought that I was like, "Oh, you were close. You almost had it."
I approve.
That was his username.
I remember the first time Choco introduced himself, and I still kind of call back to it to this day. His first ever introduction was, "I'm Darth Choco, and Choco if you're nasty." But thanks for calling in. We'll see you in the chat for this Zoom and Enhance game.
Going back to the chat. All right, see you all.
Bye.
What?
And then I do recognize Return of the Craig Emac, who changed their name after their call with us. Again, thank you for calling. That uncle be like, "I made a young Choco crash out because I got high." I wonder if he'd have any, if he'd want any Afro Man's lemon pound.
I have to say that whole Afro Man debacle gave me life.
Illy says, if my Geeketeers channel was active, I'm working my way back to it though, but y'all know I did a live stream a couple of months ago because of you. You were my inspo to get back into it, you know, but it's slow going. Hey, it's all good. My call to action is primarily just in generality. Like, if you guys want to make content, we'll support you guys. We'll have you on the podcast so you can promote yourselves and, you know, spread the love. But, you know, go at your own pace. Don't worry about it. I also did see your requests, Illy, for reacting live to some of these videos that you are saying are more positive or on the positive side, just to offset the slop that we just watched. So that's definitely something to consider in the future. But for now, we are going to go to our Guess That game. And this is we have some zoom and enhance things for you guys to guess. So Choco, you gonna play along with the stream monsters, I suppose?
I might occasionally, but I'm not gonna be competitive on it. So Ellie said, I used to do a 24-hour charity streams a lot. That's a lot of work. That's hard. Those 24-hour streams are difficult.
Yeah, it is.
This year, though, maybe we will do a we should do a charity stream. We need a good cause.
Yeah.
Maybe a stream for Gaza or something.
I'll let's do like a collection
we'll
of
workshop
certain
it.
things.
Let's workshop it.
And then we'll pose it to the community and see what we'll let them decide on who to support. Again, it's like our Star Wars lists, okay? If something's on top, it doesn't, or if something's on the bottom, it doesn't mean it's bad, okay? I'll inbox y'all. Yeah, Illy, you can leave those links in the Discord. We'll definitely do more reactions live just to kind of like have fun with it. Because I do also want to practice what I preach, which is essentially supporting channels that are positive, supporting channels that are actually fans. And I say that globally, actually fans. But yeah, it's time to play Guess That. And we have a number of...
Guess that, all on the floor, guess that.
We have a number of zoom and enhance photos that everyone seems to be a fan of. And this Studio Ghibli playlist really just makes me want to like explore a backyard. All right, let's do this. Okay. You guys know what time it is. I'm going to show you a picture, and it's going to be supremely zoomed in, and you guys are going to have to guess either the scene or who is in the scene. You know, we'll accept either or. Ryan's guessing ahead. Yoda's chin. I do have some scrotes in there. Don't worry. I made sure to do that. So here is our first zoom.
Do we see it yet?
Yeah, it's on stream.
Okay.
I mean, I would share it with you in real time. Actually, let me share it with you in real time. Let's see here.
I don't always have the. I normally pop out the chat, but don't have the stream itself up.
Oh, maybe I should not have that in the scene. There you go. Is Cubcos on all socials? I know I'm subbed on YouTube. Yeah, you can find him on Cubcos, CUBCOS on TikTok. But I can let him answer for himself as well. Let's see. We have Knight of Ren.
Everyone want to use an Akon reference?
Cal Saber.
Akon.
Grievous. Enfys Nest. Hey, Dyad crew. How's it going, Aaron Z 127 movie? Enfys Nest? Oh. What's your guess?
Ooh. I mean, I honestly, I have nothing. I see nothing in this. Amoebas. I don't know.
All right. Let's reveal it. That is Grievous. Shout out to KEG for getting that one right.
How'd you get that? Sorry.
What?
Not even gonna say it. It's just terrible.
How did I get what?
Nothing.
All right, next Zoom. Lord Goob says no do.
This is the Crystal Chaos of yeah, this is the Crystal Chaos.
Crystal Chaos?
Yeah.
Smart Guy says teeth. Millennium Falcon, a clone trooper. What in the name of smiles? Wait, is that Sidious's smile? The Falcon landing on Starkiller base at light speed. Really? This is interesting to see what people are all guessing. Gungan shield, Purgle, Falcon doing the Kessel run. All right, and you said the Crystal Chaos?
Yeah.
All right, are you guys ready for this? I don't think anybody got that one. Well, somebody guessed teeth, but
the reason I was laughing for the Grievous picture is somehow it reminded me of that. I messaged it to you.
Oh my god!
If you remember. Anyways,
now I gotta show people what you were thinking of. All right, guys, this is what Choco was thinking of. Also, shout out
the way Grievous was sitting. I don't know. That's. It felt like a Grievous version of that.
Shout out to the OBS plugins for making the outline plugin. It makes sharing pictures supremely easier because it just adds a stroke to every picture. And a drop shadow, which is just tremendous. All right, let's move on to our next Guess That. Ryan asks, what did you type in Google to get that? What, Choco? Something you want to tell your wife?
Oh, she knows.
We have Obi-Wan, Ben Solo hair, Mon, Obi-Wan's amazing hair, pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. Welcome to the stream, Obi-Shan Kenobi. X-Core says that is Ben hair. Too dark for Obi. Kylo Ren, what's your guess?
Yeah, I say we're looking at Ben and Rise of Skywalker.
Okay.
We're looking at a different Ben. I should have just said Ben.
I mean, a zoom could do wonders in obfuscation. Let's see how many people said Obi-Wan. Well, Sith in Training said Obi-Wan went in Padme's apartment, which is incorrect, but you still got Obi-Wan. Let's see here. Archive Redacted, continuing his streak. Aaron Z127 movie, Obi-Wan. Right on. Wrong scene, right character, I'll take it. I should have done a zoom in on Obi-Wan's fake beard. That would have looked like a scrote too. All right, next zoom.
Mon Mothma's armpit.
Ryan says Padme. April says that is not Ben. Cubcost says Padme. Goob says Padme. X-Core says Mon Mothma. Aaron says Padme. Return of the Craig says Padme's armpit in Attack of the Clones. Ryan says, I know my Padme outfits. Okay, Ryan, well, you just said Padme. What outfit is that? Smart guy, Padme is my best guess. Padme, the blue nightgown for sure. Yeah, that's Padme. How's it going, Damon Sosa Red?
Yeah. No, you're right. The blue nightgown of Revenge of the Sith. When she's, for some reason...
Oh, I did forget to preface this
hair.
by saying this was Revenge of the Sith themed.
Well, that would have changed a lot of my answers. Damn it.
So love has blinded you. Okay, Phineas, let's go. That is in fact the scene. I tried to zoom in on the outfit details of the beads and just happened to zoom in on the armpit, so that was unintended.
Sure.
Ryan says, I know my Padme outfits. Oh, wow. Cubcast says, oh, for fuck's sake. Listen, sometimes we make mistakes in life. All right, next zoom.
This is some sort of petri dish. No. This is
Connor says that does not look good. I told you there were some scrotes.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is a forehead of either Plo Koon or Kiadi-Mundi, depending on the lighting, but it's Order 66.
See, we have Plo, we have Kiadi-Mundi head. The flood
I'm gonna
from
say
Halo.
Order 66.
Jar Jar, one of the Hutts. The planet I can't spell. Cubcast says Utapau Rockwall. Wow, that is specific. Inside the Sarlacc. I mean, I'm taking these scenes straight from the movies, okay? So I'm not like blowing up the lighting at all. We barely see the inside of the Sarlacc. We have another Mundi head. That sounds suggestive. Plo Koon Order 66 because the lighting is too bright for Kiadi-Mundi. Okay. Let's see what this is. That is Plo during Order 66, about to get shot out of the sky, which makes no goddamn sense. I feel like I'm looking at a skin cell on a microscope. That you'd be right with that, yeah. He's a brain. Listen,
brains for ears. He's so smart; it's coming out of his ears. You know?
I actually was about to say, Plo is so tough. Plo is so seasoned. He's got like multiple cauliflower ear. Hashtag too soon. All right, next zoom.
Angstrom let me.
Fried cauliflower. KG says some creature. A bird.
Young Ayla. No, this is Kit Fisto.
Okay, let's see what this is. April says green creature. That is Ayla Sakura.
Damn.
Archive said, yeah, Kit Fisto. Oh no, Archive. You should not have.
Hey! What's this?
Kit Fisto was killed by Palpatine. Wow is right. Like I said, Zoom does a wonderful job of obfuscating pictures. And now I eternally have a picture of a black man on my screen because I'm looking at Choco's chat. Okay. Far too soon, hashtag. All right, next Zoom.
Okay, well, that's Palpatine for sure.
Are you sure that's not a scrotum?
Palpatine is a scrotum.
Don't say my name.
Is your name Scrotum?
No, Connor said Pap. Goob says Palp's too weak. Ryan says either Palps or Scrote. KG says Bib for tuna. Okay. Aaron says Papa Palpatine. Sith says Palpatine after being fried. Palpatine's forehead sack. Jeez. Palpatine's head says Darth Angel. It's Palps. I want to say it's unlimited. Ah! All right. Well, that is, in fact, I'm too weak. That's not unlimited power yet. Still the same scene though. But god dang, the folds is folding.
Yeah, I was like, I'd recognize those folds anywhere.
All right. KG said, oh, gross. Next Zoom. It doesn't look as good in a still frame. I'd argue Palpatine never looked good. For some reason, people like to say that. For some reason, people like to think that like Timothy Chalamet should play young Palpatine.
Why? Why did I feel like people forgot other actors are just there or they exist?
April says lightsaber. Aaron says C-3PO or the medical droid from Empire Strikes Back. This is Revenge of the Sith themed. Lightsaber. Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Obi-Wan's saber hilt. KG says that's a mouthpiece. Kenobi saber being handed back to him, says Goob. What do you got, Choco?
That's a lightsaber, but specifically, yeah, this is on Utapau. Obi-Wan's lightsaber on Utapau. Damn it.
That is, in fact, Palpatine's saber.
I should say, oh, frick.
Phineas McCormick got it right. Let's see, has anybody said Palpatine's saber? I mean, like, a lot of people guessed lightsaber, so you guys are technically correct. Back-to-back Palps? Indeed. All right, next Zoom. This reminds me of Fresh Prince. Dun, 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 dun. Malik says, Finn Jones is back as Danny Rand. How are you feeling? Like I told Choco and them, I'm willing to give him a second shot.
You see, my thing was like, I'm afraid if they recast, that means they'll recast them all. And I will keep Finn Jones if it means I also get to keep everyone else. And he did a lot better in season 2 than he did in season 1.
Hey, Aaron, jump on it. Jump on it. All right.
Exactly. If we got Coulter back as Luke Cage, that's all I need. I see him slapping people on the forehead and offering women coffee.
I F with that. It's just specifically speaking, I'm willing to give him another shot. I would like it, all things being equal, I would have preferred a recast, but you know, they keep telling me that he's recommitted himself. He wants to do a better job. He recognizes. So
yeah,
I'm willing to give
he
that
recognizes the problems, and he's begged people like, just give me another chance. So I'm into it.
All right, next Zoom.
Squid Lake.
It is the opera scene. Sorry, this isn't the next Zoom. Everyone seemingly got it correct. This is the opera scene, yeah. Okay, last Zoom. Here we go. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Oh wait, he's Palpatine at first in here. I'm talking like Sidious. Have you ever heard of the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Did the Luke Cage actor do something bad? No. He's perfect. He's a perfect angel, and he'll always be perfect. No, it was the Iron Fist actor. You know, a lot of people were just disappointed in season 1 of Iron Fist was just kind of rough.
We got a Senator Organa. KG says, what hallway is this? Aaron says, inside Padme's ship. Connor says, what the fuck am I looking at? Archive says, the 06 stabilizer for a 2002 Mazda Miata. Is this a hallway on the invisible hand?
Somehow, Miata return.
Oh man, what's your take on this, Choco?
This is at the very end of the movie on the Tanov. This is the room where Yoda is like turning around in the chair even though his feet don't touch the ground, meaning he's actively using the Force to turn.
Okay, I feel like everyone has guessed.
Thank you, Ellie. He was way better on anyone else's show than himself, and season 2 was a lot better. Also,
but yeah, that
we need Colleen Wing back.
My contention.
I'm so bummed she wasn't Rey.
My contention with Finn Jones was the martial arts. So in that same sentence, yeah, Ellie is correct. Can he please learn martial arts? Yeah. No. I had a total issue with him looking like he was mimicking rather than learning. And that's why I would, put forth suggestions to have like Daniel Wu or someone that is a martial artist in the role.
Yeah, and that was the problem, is he was mimicking, and like they didn't train him. They would be like, "All right, we're going to shoot the scene, do this," and then he would try to like do that for, you know what I mean, without any of the training or, yeah.
His refusal to do the martial arts ruined things. Oh,
he didn't refuse to do it. He didn't refuse. They literally didn't give him time to do the training, and he was into it and he wanted to do it. That's why he so desperately wants another chance so that he can commit to it. He wanted to do it. Cocos. Just Pava she was the number 2. She was a runner-up to be Ray.
I want to see a TikTok now of like Finn Jones in China, like training with the temples. I heard he refused. I guess that was lies to spread hate for him.
No, I mean, during this point in time, I was in it, actively in the scene, gobbling every piece of information, Yeah.
Jess Pava didn't. Wait, no, she did. She did die. Wait, she was.
Jess Pava didn't die. Ryan Johnson just forgot she existed.
I think in an interview, Jessica Henwick says that she was brought back, but like she had to say that she did die. I have to look it up.
Maybe did she die in a comic? I don't
know. But this Zoom is C-3PO in the Senate hallway. That is the hallway you are looking for, yes? What the frack? You must unlearn what you have learned. Hey, man.
It was funny though, because now you take me back to those days of like me, watching, listening to, man. Now it's I can't think of the name, but this was back when like Collider had all the shows, and like John Schnepp would be like super stoked, rest in peace, King. And then we also had the both the Marvel and DC podcasts from Maria Menounos' channel.
Oh yeah.
The original, like which there's the original podcast Koi Jandro was on before blowing up in other places.
Collider Jedi Council.
Yeah, Collider Jedi. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Has anyone watched the Agent Carter show? Yes, I've seen it.
I still haven't.
It had its moments.
How are we feeling about the Supergirl trailer, guys? We have a couple minutes left before the end of the show. Let's talk about it.
Listen, I'm excited. I mean, we're gonna get a story about the circles of grief, and how hurt people. Where we got a young girl who's the last of her family. We got Supergirl who's the last of her planet, and we're getting Lobo who's the last of his planet. Yeah.
Supergirl looks so fire, can't wait. Okay. Supergirl looks great. They attempted to John Wick Crypto. Can't imagine that ends well for them. Which is a literal line from the trailer. Wink, wink. Where she says, I can't imagine this ending well for you guys. I'm staying away from as much of Supergirl as I can for fear of spoilers. That's valid.
That's fair. By the way, guys, I wouldn't be making content if it wasn't for like those old Collider shows, and more specifically, Marvel Movie News was my main jam, and they did lots of crossovers.
This story happened many years before John Wick. It's true.
I wonder what's going on with Maria McCarthy.
I found the hand washing part of the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow so beautiful. Hope they add it into the film. Yeah. I don't know anything about the comic. But you know, I have heard of this comic.
Yeah, I'd like to do a reread though, because I read it when it was coming out, and New 52 was not. I also want New 52 to get some redemption, right? Because it wasn't fully loved. It was actually pretty hated by a lot of people, but they had a lot of great ideas. There were just some execution things, and I'm curious to see how it gets adapted. Yeah.
Did you guys watch New Rockstars? I've seen a couple of their videos.
Yeah,
we did run into them, although we didn't say anything to them. We did run into them at Celebration 22.
I would have said something, but I was like,
yeah,
I can't remember your name. I know you. I should say something, but it's weird.
We were
all right.
Goodbye. We were both in that state of trance where like I was like, is that somebody? And Chuck was like, I know him. But yeah, Eric Voss, probably. He had a beard.
Yeah, it was Eric Voss. Also, he's a lot quiet. Like a lot of the people that you see are a lot quieter people in real life and calmer, you know. Like Black Nerd Comedy, like almost seems sad whenever you see him in real life.
Oh yeah.
He's a great guy though.
Met Moshe at D23, and yeah, he was. I have a feeling that most content creators are content creators because they're introverted.
Yeah. No, I also love Jessica Clemens. She's a sweetheart.
I want to meet.
The funniest thing though is I find it so much more fun to meet other content creators than I do like celebrities. Like it's more exciting to me.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's to kind of echo that sentiment. It's more exciting to kind of, I suppose, come together with the people that you commiserate with.
Yeah, I mean, remember when we were at the Morbius premiere? I was way more excited to meet my mutuals there than like, you know, and like Tyrese was walking around and stuff, and I'm like excited to see all these other people. Also stunned by Adria and her beauty.
Say that again.
Stunned by Adria and her beauty.
Yeah. My latest craze is I want to meet Lyra Bova and Emily Rudd.
All right, calm down.
No, I will not calm down. These are totally normal desires.
True.
Morbius premiere was the day you first met? No. What?
No, it was the day I first met some mutuals, though.
When was the first day we met?
The first day we met is when I drove up and we went to LA with
Bariqua Wookie?
With Bariqua and Xanthi.
Venom was the next time we met. And then since then,
Yeah.
I've driven down.
And that was the first time I met Koi. was when we were walking out of the Venom event, the Rage Room, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I've been following you forever.
You mean you weren't excited to watch Morbius that night? Can I be Frank? And you be Nancy? Not really. Like I feel like it was a part of the night's events, but just like Choco, I was
we were there to spend time with each other.
Yeah.
Camilla came to that with us as well.
Even my almost 60-year-old mom knows Moist Critical. Oh, jeez. I'm going to a con later this month and have the same social issue. I need to cosplay with a mask. Yeah, I mean, I found my introvertedness rears its head when I don't have my mutuals around, which is odd. You know, when I'm surrounded by mutuals, I take the role of purveyor, because like you'll see me all night long be like, have you met this guy, have you met her, have you guys met? Like I'm like introducing people to each other, and then as they start talking to each other, I retreat into a corner.
I'm very introverted, and I actually I can't make it through an entire con. I really can't.
Yeah.
By the last day, I'm like I miss my wife. I'm going home. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going home.
Actually, what's funny about that is that we didn't have a con during DYAD Con. We did have a lot of events, and that was kind of like the longest that I had seen Choco like engage, like out of the introvert. Because primarily, like a lot of the things that we were doing at that event were hanging out with everyone, like in someone else's like hotel room or like the hot tub and stuff. And then we had like the Disneyland stuff, which is essentially like the most con experience of it. And we were equally tired after all of that.
Yeah, and like I'm someone that is I'm not shy, and I do sales for work, and I've had to do stuff and just be with people and in front of people forever, and so like I've just learned like, okay, I'm running out of battery. I'm just gonna have to disappear for a bit, and then I just won't talk to anyone for like a week or two, and then I'm back.
Cubcast says, I interacted with Lothal Youngling for exactly 12 seconds at Celebration last year, and we still chat all the time. Doing a video with her next week for Maul Shadowlord.
Yeah, Young is the best. If only she would do videos with us still. No, she would, but we want to get her on to talk Punisher, not Punisher. Daredevil. She freaks out whenever Punisher's on screen, but yeah, we're still working it out.
Is it because of Punisher, or is it because of John Bernthal?
Yes.
Because me thinks that she would like John Bernthal to play Hunter.
Interesting. I can see that. I just
Now you have to picture Hunter
darker.
going, oh!
wait. Have you heard anything from Fangirl Minx? From time to time, I should actually reach out. I just there's a lot of people I haven't contacted directly, that I should reach out and say hi to, because it has been a while.
All right, TikTok decided to crap out and send in old messages about Padme brushing her hair. Palpatine's head. Yeah, I think I spoke to Young also about doing Daredevil. Her main contention is it's during a school.
It's the time. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really difficult being a lassie in the fan creator space. The literal threats were what made me take a break 3 years ago. That's understandable.
And that sucks. I'm sorry to hear it. Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't realize. I mean, man, I feel like I'm an entirely different person having made content and like managed people, because there's all these pockets of people and things that they experience that I had just never thought about or never realized how bad it was, you know? And like, you know, when I first made the book club, it immediately was almost all women, because it was like the only place they felt safe talking about Star Wars, and that just made me so sad. But yeah.
I mean, it's totally fair, totally valid. What usually works for folks in our community that either show up to DYADCon or meet up for other cons is that we essentially make sure that they are always with a group, right? We did have our close friend Sawyer was harassed at one of the cons. This was a while ago, not recent, but like it turned into a whole thing. I think it happened with that Star Wars girl and a bunch of chuds. And so like, yeah, I always encourage everyone to travel in a group, never alone, and just gotta watch out for each other's backs, watch each other's backs, have each other's sixes. But yeah. Bro, I wish I could have been there for that. I can make chuds cry. Listen, there's still a chance. Still an opportunity.
Honestly, yeah. I'm a nice person, but like when I can square up if I get mad, and I just don't like that feeling. So I'm like glad I wasn't there, but also kind of wish I was there.
I think we both would have stepped up, to be honest. There were during my time in college, when I used to smoke, I was outside smoking with a friend. We were talking about games. And there was this one drunk guy. I called him El Borracho. He would just get up in my personal space when he was drunk. And my friend would always be like, "You really don't want to be there." And then I would repeat that. It's like, "Do you really want to be in my personal space right now?" And then he would just back off and be like, "Relax. I'm just trying to talk to you, man." You mentioned that Star Wars girl. You know her? Something happened to her? She harassed our friend at one of the cons. Standing up to bullies works nine times out of 10 times. I think it works all the time when it comes to chuds, because they have no convictions.
That's tracks. Yeah, they're not smart.
You know what's funny? Our friend who used to go on to Theory's stuff, and so did Choco, but like our friend that used to go on to Theory's stuff told me that like he would always ask if I was going to a con. And they said verbatim that he is scared of me. And I'm like, I don't bite. I don't like if I see a chud at like a con, like it's not my number one mission to go up to them and start debunking their stuff in their face. But this information was fed to me during a time when most people would say Choco is the nice one. And apparently I would be the one to throw hands. I don't know. Spooky Kitty said, yeah, what the fuck? Theory is a walking muscle. I mean, but that's it. That's it.
I mean, no one's afraid of him.
That's heartbreaking to hear, though. I'm sorry to hear about the harassment. Yeah. I did my best to kind of like rally the troops and kind of support her. But no one should ever. No one should
Sorry,
be.
X-Core, that was great.
No one should be harassed during the con. Not even chuds. No, you shouldn't harass anyone.
Yeah.
At any point. What did X-Core says? A walking muscle specifically. Surprised Disney doesn't sue Star Wars Theory for his lightsaber business. I mean, then that would create a dangerous precedent for other lightsaber manufacturers. They do have legal ground, honestly, but
I mean, I believe, like technically that's why most of the companies don't sell lightsabers. They will sell sabers, but they won't say lightsabers, because that just gives them that legal right. Because a saber is a thing. You can't, it's a sword.
Well, also their most of their legal ground comes in the form of the replicas.
Yeah,
like they're not gonna go after people for just literally making a laser sword, but like the stores and resellers that specifically say Obi-Wan's lightsaber. Like I got stopped from selling things using Star Wars terms.
Yeah. When I got invited to go out for Jedi Survivor, they were like, hey, you have to shut down your Etsy store. I was like, damn it. Okay. That's why most of them who sell like Obi-Wan's lightsaber, it's called the Mentor, and like Satele Shan's hilt is called the Grandmaster. So that's how they get through that stuff. I'm a Spooky says, I don't think Theory is racist. Definitely a little sexist. He's mainly just a useful idiot and a man-child. Here's the thing with that sort of thing. Is you can say you are not this or not that, but if you actively let it thrive in your communities, then yeah, you're part of that group. You're part of that entity, right? If you see like racism happening in the community, and you are more irritated by the people speaking up against it, you're in the group. I'm sorry.
Oh god, I don't know, I just realized something horrific. Disney bought that AI company and are adding creation using their characters for D+ for all subscribers. I mean, that's totally within their rights. They have the IP rights to all of the characters.
Yeah. But I will say he's definitely sexist, for sure. And like, mind you, I was like friends with him for over a year. We were in a private chat and stuff together, and all of the women that were part of our group, basically all of us are still friends except for him.
If he's anything for me, he's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem to have any acumen in narrative recognition, world building, and like his last video that we did, he said gamut as gamut, and that's a 5th grade reading level. And if you don't understand what words are and can pronounce them, then you can't comprehend what you're reading, if you read at all. So I mean, yeah, that's his claim to fame for me.
Yeah, that's the thing is because I even have a friend who would say things like this of like, well, calling out the bad people doesn't help, like inviting them over certainly doesn't help. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I mean, that's like head in the sand territory, right? It's like, if I'm not part of the problem, then I must be part of the solution. That's not how life works. But before we get any more into the weeds and like, into like this Debbie Downer kind of situation that we're in, I think this is a great time to wrap things up and call it for the night. Aaron says the Force is for everyone. That's absolutely correct. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us, for being in the chat and participating in the Guess That. Thank you to Craig McGuinn for calling in. Thank you to Cubcast for calling in. We appreciate your guys' support and participation in everything that we do. Cubcast says, shout out to the DYAD and everyone in chat. It's nice to be around y'all talking Star Wars, one of the highlights of my week. Yub Nub for life.
Yep. Also, I'm so excited to actually get Maul and have like definitive Star Wars to talk about. I mean, there's always Star Wars topics to talk about, and also books we haven't read yet that we need to talk about. But yeah.
Also, if you guys want to see us again, I believe we're gonna continue Resident Evil 2 next Tuesday.
I will have to check. I might have to do something at 6:30.
So maybe later, or just not at all.
Maybe later. No.
All right. If you guys want to tune in again, Choco is playing Resident Evil for the first time. He is playing RE2, and so far he's doing really well. Sometimes Eggy joins us for color commentary, but otherwise, you can see us next Tuesday, maybe later in the day if you guys want to watch that. But thank you guys so much. Good night. Have fun with the rest of your day and your night. And that's it. On to the next one.
For Light and for Life.
We are all the Force.
And follow all of the cool people here. They're all great. Peace, y'all.